Hey there guys, Dave-O here, and welcome back to our ongoing coverage of E3 2017. This episode will focus on Bethesda's conference, a much shorter conference than Microsoft's, but still a good one. So without further ado, let's jump in. First, Bethesda opens up with this, I'll admit it was a really adorable opening video where they showed all the families of the Bethesda workers and stuff. It was a nice way to open the conference, and it definitely set the tone for this whole Bethesda Land thing that they were doing, where each game reveal was treated as like a new attraction for their amusement park, so to speak. So speaking of that, we moved on to the first thing in the conference, which was their two new VR titles. Not necessarily new games, but VR modes for existing titles. That being Fallout 4 and Doom. Now, between the two, I think Fallout 4 is definitely going to be the cooler one in VR. It's definitely going to be I'll say it's the better one, because Fallout 4 is a little bit slower paced, therefore there isn't going to be so much motion sickness involved with playing Fallout 4 in VR. That, and I can't tell you how many people have talked to me about Fallout and told me that they want to physically put themselves in that environment. They want to be fully immersed in the Fallout world. And VR is about the closest we're going to get for that, and I'm definitely excited for those people. I'm not a huge Fallout fan myself, but I'm really excited for the people who own a VR headset and love Fallout. Doom, however, I don't know. I was looking at that gameplay, and it looked like it worked, don't get me wrong, but I think I'm going to have to agree with most of the internet on this one, especially on Twitter. This looks like people are going to, this looks like a motion sickness problem waiting to happen. I'm more than willing to bet we're going to be seeing some streamers throwing up while playing this game, because it's very fast-paced, and I don't know, I'm not personally looking to get that. I love Doom, don't get me wrong. Between Doom and Fallout 4, I definitely prefer Doom. It's more my thing, but I just never really needed to have the VR thing going for it. I don't need to, that and just the idea of being chased around by monsters like that, that's terrifying. Anyway, so we move on to the Elder Scrolls Online. They're getting 2 new DLC expansions. The DLC will be called The Horns of the Reach and Clockwork City. I was reading the write-up done by our newest editor, Elliot, who did the whole Bethesda conference rundown, and he seems pretty excited for it. Me personally, I'm not super into the Elder Scrolls Online, but it does seem like it has quite the audience attached to it, so I'm glad that they're getting more DLC, they're getting more support for their game, definitely. Then Bethesda showed Skyrim for the Switch, and I decided to kind of kick back and go, okay, here we go. We get to see Skyrim running on the Switch. Okay, it's Skyrim, and then, of course, the amiibo support happened. I saw them put the amiibo on the Switch. The player in the game got the Link, tunic on with the Master Sword and the shield, and that's when I figured that game was going to start printing money real fast. I'll give it to Bethesda. They know what Nintendo fans want. Also, there was a little bit of motion control going on there. You can use the Joy-Cons to swing the sword, or you can, use it as a bow and arrow type thing. That looked pretty cool. I doubt it's going to be used very much, but it still is a nice idea from Bethesda, and it's a good way to use the Joy-Con controllers. And it kind of gives people a reason to pick up Skyrim for the Switch, other than the fact that there's Link DLC. We also received news that Dishonored 2 would be getting some DLC that will be coming out on September 15th. It's called Death of the Outsider. I saw some Dishonored fans on Twitter that were super excited about it. I'm not particularly well versed in the Dishonored universe, but it does seem like it's a pretty cool expansion, and I'm glad that they're getting more DLC. That's awesome. After that, we got an update on Quake Champions, which is currently in beta right now. This is Bethesda's real attempt at making an esports game. And Quake is really the best game for that. It's an arena FPS. It's perfect for esports. The event will be called the Quake World Championship and will actually take place at QuakeCon on August 26th. And they're also adding in BJ Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein: The New Order as one of the characters in the game. And he looks completely at odds with the rest of the people in the game. Sorry, I played the game back when it was doing the closed beta, and he doesn't fit. He really doesn't fit, but you know what? That's fine. BJ Blazkowicz is cool anyway. Speaking of BJ Blazkowicz, actually going to the end of the conference now, Bethesda showed off Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. This was pretty much the whole reason I was watching the conference to begin with, and it did not disappoint. This game looks fantastic. It takes place right after, or seems to be sort of close to right after the New Order, where they have dealt a considerable blow to the Nazis, but the Nazis still control most of the world, including America, where the new Colossus takes place. I definitely like the fact that they're going there. It kind of has like a Resistance 2 vibe to it, because you know how Resistance Fall of Man took place in Europe, whereas Resistance 2 was in America. I think, I'm not saying that necessarily the new Colossus is doing it for that reason, but I do like the fact that they're moving over to America to show what a Nazi-occupied America looks like, including commercials that they made for the trailer, which were kind of like old, like 50s or 60s American commercials done in the style of the Nazis. So we had like these funny thing like the Nazi guard dog trying to be like Lassie, which was super funny to watch. Wolfenstein, the new Colossus, will actually be coming out this year, and that was a really good part about Bethesda's conference. Everything that they showed in this conference is coming out this year. The game will be released on October 27th for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Bethesda also chose to announce something called the Creation Club. As far as we can tell, this is a program where users can create their own mods and stuff and sell them on a marketplace and make money from them. So essentially, this is paid mods. We saw that Bethesda and Valve tried this a couple years ago with Skyrim, where they kind of just let the floodgates open and let anyone make a mod and try and sell it. And we started getting like early access for mods and pre-ordering mods and stuff like that, and it was a complete disaster. While I'm not a fan of paid mods to begin with, this does look like a much more concentrated effort from Bethesda, so let's hope that the program at least doesn't cause any huge problems, and let's hope that only Bethesda does this. I don't want EA or any other companies like that getting an idea when seeing this. Then we got the real showstopper, The Evil Within 2. Now, again, I'm not a huge fan of The Evil Within. I'm not really a big horror game guy, but even I took a look at that trailer, how they put together the Evil Within 2 trailer, and could appreciate it from just a cinematography standpoint. My God, whoever did this trailer for the Evil Within 2 showed up for work. This was wonderfully done. I'm even sort of interested in buying the game simply because the trailer was that good. And I'm sure the people who played The Evil Within and were looking forward to the second one are super hyped right now, and I couldn't be happier for them. So from the standpoint of Bethesda being a third-party conference, how did they do? I'm going to give Bethesda another like it here, but a strong like it. They showed a couple cool games, there was a couple little surprises sprinkled in there, and most importantly, they did not waste our time. There's nothing like what was happening at like the Xbox conference yesterday where they did the stupid thing with the car, or most EA conferences where they do some kind of interview with an athlete or something. They just did games, 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 and they just went from game to game to game, and they did not waste our time. It was only like a 40-minute conference, and I'm totally cool with that. The only bummer was really the Creation Club thing. I mean, that's what's really dragging it down from a love it, personally, because I don't like the idea of paid mods, and I'm upset that they're doing this, that they didn't learn their lesson from when they tried it with Steam Workshop. But hey, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. There's nothing we can do. We just have to just not buy the paid mods and hope it goes away. Regardless, Bethesda has been going strong ever since starting to do their own conferences back in 2015, and I hope they keep it up. Okay, but that's just what I think. I want to know what you guys think, though. Did you like the Bethesda conference? Leave a comment in the section below. Also, if you like this video, then please leave us a like and subscribe to see more content from me and the rest of the TZR team. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.